Hey y'all, it is Listening Lotus. How are you guys? I hope that you are doing well, taking good care of yourselves. Before we even get into it, something that was really heavy on me that I wanted to share with you all. Um, to always bet on you. I know it is such a cliche and people talk about it all the time and it's almost becoming a trending phrase, but most importantly, it's so vital right now, okay? Especially with this planetary alignments where we don't even have a retrograde in sight for the next 6 weeks, probably 5 or 4 weeks, depending on when this was uploaded, but taking absolute maximum amount of time to really bet on your crafts, mastering your crafts, your improving your skill sets, just all the different things that you can think of. Whatever first came to mind when I first said that, just confirmation to bet on you. Do the things that may feel scary, and really put yourself out there because you really just I mean, honestly, what's the worst that can happen outside of you just feeling more freer and having a certain level of freedom that really speaks to you as an individual? Okay. Nothing like it. Nothing like it. Let's go ahead and just jump right in. Again, thank you guys so much for all your likes, shares, comments, and subscriptions. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. Okay. Anything that you would like to know as far as how to get in contact with me, from the text number down to how you can book a reading with me if you choose or feel comfortable to, all of that is in the description of every video, okay? In the meantime, in between time, let's see what's happening. And as a side note, y'all, because I think somebody had asked me one time before, they sent me a personal message and they was like, what do you be doing with your thumb? And I know it might sound a little gross, but I actually lick my thumb like how you kind of like lick before you like put a stamp on. And that's just kind of my thing. So I would never ever like donate my cards to anybody or nothing because my DNA is across all of them. Like when I mean these cards are personal, yeah. Just a little side note. Oh, okay. Every time I see this card, I think of Tower Moment, which is okay because, like the old folks would say, things sometimes need to get worse before they can get better. So, the first card that came out is Things Falling Apart. It says changes, endings, and rebuilding, aka could be not even could be going through your own version of a rebirth, so to speak. Okay, this house is falling down so that you can be able to build up on the same foundation or the same land if need be. Okay. Next card that came out is Letting Go, Releasing, and to Don't Look Back. So, whatever that you are transitioning from that you feel like is just going to shit right now, aka falling apart, please know that on the other side of it, it is time for growth. Okay. Also, with this, you could be saying fives in general, whether it's 55 or 5 or things that add up to 5 if you're into gematria, fill in the blanks if you will. But you also could be seeing 555, which all of these are just 5 is just about change. Long story short. Okay. And then it says, I can't let go, attachment, obsession, and holding on. Okay. Well, someone being honest with themselves that they don't want to let you go, but let's keep it a being like you gonna have to go somewhere, but you can't stay here. All right. And then next card is Luck is on your side. Look how bright this card is versus the other ones. Okay. Again, like I said, light is always on the other side of that on the other side of that tunnel. Good news is coming. Good news is on the way. Let's get a little bit more in depth as to what the good news could even potentially be. Maybe it could even be regarding an actual home. Maybe that is something in the physical that you have been working on. Hold on, y'all. Okay, y'all. Excuse me about that. You know how you put a timer on to make sure that you don't burn your food or whatever when you're cooking? Completely forgot, y'all. I went straight into doing the cards and forgot that I was making food. So yeah, it just be like that. Anyway, where did I leave off at? Yes. So this could have been potentially even dealing with just housing or a home in general. And maybe you feeling like that home, for the sake of the example or whatever, the thing that you feel like is falling apart. I could also read this as being like just foundational in general. Whether if it was just a foundation that you were comfortable with standing on regarding like your career or just like certain mindsets or mind frames that you had about how you were going to go about to get certain things accomplished or done. All of that could be slowly changing, um, and going through a rebuild phase right now. One thing, things how you may have viewed how you wanted to do them, through um, letters A through Z are now going to have to be revamped, or changed. Um, but if it is regarding a home, maybe this you felt like that this home in particularly was going to be like your forever home. You weren't necessarily um thinking about the potential of you having to either, move out or move forward if it is something to actually do with a physical home. But all in all, hey, look, y'all see the card. Luck is on your side, okay? It says good news is coming, it's on the way. Whether if it's you potentially getting into a new home, I could definitely see that. Um, but just know that you're lucky right now. It's just like that. Okay, take advantage. Take advantage. Okay, let's see. Okay, wow. Absolutely stunning, darling. So, first card we have is it says, look closely. It says, it's within you. I will even arguably say, because what came to me when the card first came out, outside of the new love card that came out next with reconciliation, and this could be you reconciling with um, an old partner, okay, or just reconciling with the way you used to want to do things in order to incorporate new love into your life. But when this card came out, it's in you. I need to let people know because, again, a lot of this stuff you hear it over and over again amongst probably many different channels and panels or whatever. And maybe sometimes you don't always understand what they mean by what they say. So I'm going to try to break it down a little bit. When we say it's in you, we're talking about the energy of everything that you look, see, taste, touch. It's all within you. With that being said and done, there is nothing that you can't do. Literally, with luck being on your side and they're telling you that it's in you, it means that not only do you have the power to literally manifest and get everything that you want and that you're asking for, and you can get it realistically in this lifetime, but it is also speaking to and sometimes I feel like I'm specifically only talking to earth signs. I know sometimes the earth signs or whatever, they struggle with this a little bit more, but everybody does, especially in the society that we live in today, right? You can get so caught up in your accolades or the tangibles, the things that you have physically that you can hold on, grasp, and touch, right? Um, and almost merge those things together with your character and who you are as a person and how you move and your integrity and your just who you are as a being. And those things are separate. And what I mean by that is, even if to an extent maybe you had a house and you had to downsize, just as an example, collective, you had to downsize to an apartment, that doesn't have anything to do with who you are as a person and your worth, and um just like you as being a spiritual being. And the reason why I'm saying that is because it's really good to sometimes revamp and take a pause and make sure that you are not mm, making sure that those things don't make or break they shouldn't go hand in hand as to who you are as a person, basically. And I know that that is easier said than done, especially if I'm talking to my older generation. This could definitely be, potentially an older, and what I mean by older, like you at least are established to the point of like you may have finished um a second education or whatever. Okay, maybe you have a couple of degrees, or a career, or you've been on a job for X amount of years. Don't let those different things that people know of you or about you tying them into who you are internally as a person. Okay. Don't allow, as an example, don't allow, if you're a construction worker, don't allow that title, in a sense, to be where part of you feel like your self-worth comes from, or your where people should give you a certain amount of respect. I hope I made that clear. I hope I made that clear. But that's basically what I'm getting off, or whatever, a little bit when this card came out. Like somebody slowly was starting, and that could be potentially why you were going through this change, because there could have been a little bit of too much ego in a situation where, you was getting a little bit too cocky, getting a little bit too cocky and crazy with it. And they was like, hold on. But let's go further into that. I do hope that that helped resonate for somebody. Um, but let's just see. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Oh, I like this. But you know what? I'm gonna take this one first, because I do feel like these two are just gonna kind of help with what I'm gonna say. But with this new love card and reconciliation, and to choose with love, it says love is the most powerful force. Choose love over fear, and your life will transform. And sometimes, okay, let's just keep it a being. Sometimes we choose or make choices off of how we feel others are going to think. Unfortunately, I know we all grown as fuck here, but guess what? There are some people that are still quote unquote technically undeveloped in other parts and other stages. And guess what? That's okay. And so that is probably a reason why some of this had to fall apart again, because, and it could have been just simply because we're talking about love, how you viewed love in itself, how you felt that you should be loved, or how you viewed your partner to love you. And now you're having a reconciliation as to what that really looks like. And you are making the choice to simply be and become love, and what that looks like in its rarest form for you. Okay. I was definitely getting that off the bat. And that's the reason why, even going back to this card where I was saying it's in you, um, to look closely that you are in fact love. Okay, confirmation for whoever I'm talking to, that you not only want to be loved and receive love and give love, but to simply be love itself. Okay, everything that you do is love. So do with that what you will. It says to accept the imperfections. I love that. Okay, perfection doesn't exist. Embrace your flaws and those of others. They are the key to growth, especially with this new love. Okay. Like, look, even with a new person coming in, like, they're not always, they damn sure ain't gonna get everything right. Okay. And it's up to you to make the choice or whatever. If you feel like this person, said person, is, if you feel like that this can work, but make sure that you're not doing it from a triggered space. You want to do it from an open, heartfelt space or whatever. Like, you really, this is what you're choosing. And let's not forget, because this is what came out after all of this. I mean, this is what came out before all of this. That luck is indeed, in fact, on your side. So if you already have somebody potentially that you are thinking about even having a new relationship with, then I mean, they're basically saying like you're going to be good. Okay, good news is on the way. You're doing great. And then last but not least, not to forget who the fuck you are, okay? Remember that it is in fact in you with this awakening your power, or sorry, awaken your power. Okay, it says you are more powerful than you realize. Awaken to your true strength and step into your potential. Okay, I feel like they pretty much just cleared up all of that in a nutshell or whatever. Okay, don't forget who the fuck you are. Okay, I'll bet on you. Understand that these changes that are coming through, yes, you feel like everything is falling apart, even if it's just you going through something in more of a mental sense, okay? But guess what? It's all for rebranding and rebuilding phase that is going to be, you're going to be lucky regardless on the other side of it, okay? I want to be on the other end of this rainbow. Do they still show that on the other end of the rainbow where you get the I might be telling my age with the Lucky Charms, and he used to have a pot of gold. It used to be a pot of gold right here. Hell, we want it all. Okay, I love that. Let's go ahead and see what else is going to come out. Uh-oh. Let's see what else, y'all. And that's it. Oh, I like that. I'm gonna show y'all the bottom of the deck. Bottom of the deck, it says trust. Trust your intuition and the universe to guide you. So if anybody need that confirmation, and this could potentially just be like there is somebody or someone or even yourself that could be potentially okay. Oh, I like that. That could be potentially like um trying to come towards you, okay? And they may be even coming towards you in ways that you aren't necessarily used to. And so, because it's a new level of new, and you don't necessarily know what you're walking into and what that looks like, it can be scary, okay? Which is the reason why you have to be more open and open minded. These are some really good cards. Okay. So, the first card before all of these, it's courage, okay? Having the courage to move forward and really understand that, look, okay, courage and lioness energy, okay? Maybe you even seeing, I would say, even look up the animal totems as to what the lion and the eagle mean. And if you do happen to luckily see one of these fabulous animals, like, okay, I'm gonna just leave that there. It says, but to have courage. It says, courage lies within you. You have the power to overcome anything. So you can definitely overcome this hurdle that you may be feeling like um, you just because you're not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel doesn't mean that there's no light there. Okay. Because again, even through all these quote unquote dark blues and stuff, you got this lovely card sticking out with this crazy little bunny letting you know, like, hey, focus on me. I know everything else around here is a little gray, but look what's coming. Okay, most importantly, having confidence. Okay, let's talk about it honestly. A lot of times when we are feeling like in this energy or whatever, we're not always the best confident or whatever, and so it's good to get that reminder. It says believe in your worth and your abilities. Okay, really, that boils down to you owning your power and really understand it. Most importantly, whoever I'm speaking to, let me take a pause. Not only are you worthy and that you are worth it, but you should damn near demand it. Okay, like literally this should almost be a part of your birthright. Like, no, I demand to have a better life. I demand to on my account, on my own terms. I demand what love and all of those terms look like for me, and I'm going for everything that looks just like that. Okay? Next card we have is strength. Look, y'all got the lion twice. Okay? I cannot make this shit up. Two different decks, same basically one is just a little bit more stronger than the other. This one is walking. Okay, he's a little bit more calm, a little bit more poised, but he still understands that he's a lion and he walks in that power. And this one is strong as hell. Okay, saying that no matter what, okay, stand 10 toes, literally, and go to the top of that mountain. Okay, so confidence, strength, courage, all of this. Understanding that all of this is within you. Okay, you can accomplish everything that you want. Let's read the card though. It says, your inner strength is boundless, unleash it. Simple as that. Okay? Anything that you are feeling, quote unquote, a little bit frightened about, or maybe even a little bit fearful, it's time to release all that. At this point, I always encourage y'all, if you ain't heard me say it before, I'm going to say it again. If there's something that you are fearful about, you need to honestly run towards that because nine times out of 10, you're going to end up realizing that it was nothing to be fearful about to begin with. Literally, literally, majority of the time. Now, if it's something medical or something like that, okay, you know what? Y'all go ahead and take that up with y'all physicians. Don't come on my page talking about because I said I don't want to hear it because I had to put that out there because sometimes common sense ain't too common, okay? And most importantly, it says have hope, okay? This is nothing but about hope. I can also see, honestly, if you don't even have a Leo present in your energy, but if you do, you can learn a lot from just Leo energy in itself. This is definitely giving a lot of sunny, bright disposition or whatever with the little glimpses of sun rays that are peeking, poking out throughout these cards or whatever. So maybe even putting yourself around Leo energy or just fire energy, really just igniting more about like your creativity and really just going for it, okay? Really being the spark, okay? With the hope card, it says hope is a beam of light in the darkness. I ain't got nothing else to say to y'all. Honestly, I feel like this pretty much was like self-explanatory. You got new love coming in. If you fearful or nervous about it or whatever, just know like, hey, you can get through this as long as you are definitely listening to yourself and choosing with love. Okay, understanding that most importantly, regardless of however the thing goes out, that you got luck on your side and good news is to come in the foreseeable future. And I love that for y'all. Thank you guys so much for watching. Okay, if you would like once again to know anything about Listening Lotus and what we have to offer, you can always go to any of the descriptions of any of the videos and check out what I have. I also have a texting number that you can get in contact with me with. Um, and this is what I got. Okay, it's just really giving like somebody has like this nervous, jittery energy, and I can understand that, especially if this is something that just happened recently. Okay. And then maybe also this is trying to come in at the same time and you don't know if you're coming or going. Just like, what is this? Right. But don't forget, most importantly, that this is the growing theme. Okay. See how bright this card stands out amongst all these other cards. The rest of them were just giving you in constant motivation words, literally. That's it. That's all. Like, you got this. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate all your love. Remember to like, share, and subscribe as we are growing the channel. I really do appreciate you guys. And yeah, y'all, hey, look, keep pushing through, okay? Letting go and really understanding that you don't have to hold on to something that, even though it may feel familiar, doesn't mean that it's familiar for your growth, okay? So in the meantime, between time, y'all take care. Bye.